Well, that was a strange day, wasn't it? A bit of an emotional roller coaster, but Norwich City are a Premier League team again, despite a 3-1 defeat here to Bournemouth this evening. A chaotic day and night, really. Promotion confirmed at about 20 past 2 this afternoon, thanks to that unexpected combination of results, which was Swansea being held 2-2 at home by bottom of the table Wycombe. Wycombe were 2-0 up as well, so we were frantically trying to get stuff knocked into shape so that we were ready for it, which of course we were. And Brentford held at home 0-0 by Millwall as well, so that got the job done. And I'll say at the top of the video, really, I'm going to keep it nice and short, as it is almost 11 o'clock. It's been a long old day. I'm sure you guys have seen plenty of this stuff already, and I'll point in the direction of our video that we did at about 5 o'clock, which is also available on all our social media feeds, the Pink and YouTube channel. When we went live, well, I was live from Carrow Road. There were a few fans milling around, and we got that sort of snap reaction, really, when the excitement was really flowing, the adrenaline pumping, and we heard from fans from around the world. It was really a nice video to sort of share in the celebrations, really, and enjoy the moment, because it's been sort of robbed a little bit by this tonight, but it feels like it shouldn't have been. You know, Norwich really burst out of the traps and were playing so well. They were in front in the 5th minute. Emily Buendia's 13th goal of the season, set up really nicely by Timu Pukki after a nice Kenny McLean pass to get it going. And Bournemouth, frankly, were chasing shadows at that point. But the game completely turned on a controversial red card in the 18th minute for Dimitris Giannoulis. We've watched plenty of replays, but of course the referee that doesn't have any replays, no VAR. And well, we think that VAR, I'd like to think that VAR would overrule it, but probably not. We've got some images from our photographer Paul Cheston where you can see Giannoulis is standing on Ben Pearson's leg, but in real time Pearson's the aggressor. He slides in. He is very much the one going into that challenge quite heavily, and it's then Giannoulis sort of has pulled out of it. It's no power, no weight or anything on it. So yes, his studs end up on top of his shin, but that's because Pearson has slid underneath him. So the referee, Graham Scott, took his time, made the decision, gets the straight red card out, and that means a 3-game ban for Dimitris, and unless Norwich can appeal it. But unfortunately, with where these sort of decisions go, I wouldn't have thought it's going to get overturned, but it just felt so harsh. Giannoulis didn't really go into the challenge, and he ends up red carded. And even at the time when Pearson starts rolling around the floor, Giannoulis was just looking at him perplexed, and he was gutted. He really was gutted. So that just completely threw everything out of the window. Bournemouth rallied. They got a second win totally and started playing really well. They had a goal disallowed 3 minutes later when Don Solanke turned in a Danjuma shot, which he shouldn't have. Really should have stayed out of the way, and that would have been an equaliser straight away. Jakob Sorensen had to come on at left back and persevered well enough, but Bournemouth played well. They came into this game from that point onwards. I'd come into this game with 5 successive wins. It's now 6 for them, and they ended up deserved winners because Norwich just couldn't cope with them. They played well. They used the possession and they tired Norwich out. So a couple of nice goals that won it. The first was a bit controversial. Sam Surridge had come on at half time, and it was a Lloyd Kelly cross sort of shot into the box, which initially the linesman had ruled out as Surridge turned it in at the back post, but then you very quickly saw that Andrew Banadelli had got a touch on it, and he was actually playing them all onside as well. So to be fair, Scott gets that one correct. He overrules his linesman. That's 1-1. Danjuma is a very good player, Holland international, smashes one top left corner in the 57th minute after beating Buendia and Skip. Norwich looking really tired. Hugh Gill, Poeta, Hernandez, all coming on, trying to inject a bit of pace, but I think the emotional roller coaster was just on the way down by that point. And then a nice finish from Lloyd Kelly, left-footed, 25 yards low, bottom corner, past Tim Krul, and that was Norwich's goose cooked, really. And there's no damage done by it at all. It's just disappointing. They are pretty wound up by it, but we have seen the promotion celebrations here on the pitch in the end. I think they took a little time, but we heard that they were celebrating in the dressing room. The champagne was eventually flying, and they did come out on the pitch in their we're back t-shirts. The advertising hoardings were showing "We Are Premier League" and all that sort of stuff. And eventually that excitement came through, and they started to shake it off because they still know they're in a brilliant position, 90 points with 4 games remaining. If they beat Watford here on Tuesday night, they are champions. They will see it, and they are going back to the Premier League. Of course, you want to maintain momentum because that's important for next season, but the job is mostly done. And Watford won't be an easy game, of course, on Tuesday. We know what a solid team they are, but we don't want to get too caught up in this result, do we? Because overall, this is a brilliant day for the club. Just such a great success for Daniel Farke, for Stuart Webber, for how they've managed to steer the team through this awkward, difficult, strange year once again. You know, I was here 2 years ago, as I'm sure so many of you were, for the Blackburn game when that brilliant Mario Vrancic strike was decisive in the 2-1 win, and all the interviews and celebrations and stuff were just great. It was chaotic. It was brilliant. We spoke to everyone. Because of social distancing and restrictions and stuff tonight, we did get to speak to Emi Buendia and Teemu Pukki, but everybody else was off celebrating. Apparently the photographers mostly didn't get those celebrations because they were told it wasn't happening. So it all ended up being a bit chaotic and a bit messy and things like that, which kind of sums up the evening in a way, because it was a bit of a chaotic match as well. But there we go. Entertaining, and Norwich are back in the Premier League. I won't do ratings and man of the match for tonight because it's not really needed, and it's not really fair on the Norwich players. I think they end up getting a bit of a raw deal, but they've had plenty of luck along the way this season, haven't they? You know, you think Kenny McLean's deflected equaliser at Brentford, and Middlesbrough's strangely disallowed penalty in the away game. There's been several, hasn't there, when a bit of fortune's been on their side, as happens when you have a good season. You tend to get a bit of the rub of the green, but they didn't tonight. A 3-1 defeat, and they all said that how much they are pumped to get that win against Watford on Tuesday night, to bounce back and finish this season in style, as Pukki put it. Thanks very much for watching. As I say, if you want to savour a bit of the promotion feeling a bit more than we've got at this time of night, then that video that we recorded about 5 o'clock is the best place to go. And of course, we'll have loads for you at pinkin.com to make sure we really savour the special side of these things. Thanks for watching.